Gang members and 4 corrections employees are facing federal charges in connection with wide-ranging criminal schemes over the last decade to smuggle drugs into Virginia prisons and commit robberies, prosecutors announced Friday. Members of the New York City-based Madstone Bloods, MSB, brought cocaine, heroin, cell phones and other contraband into 3 Virginia penitentiaries with the help of 3 guards and a counselor, and even maintained a sexual relationship with one.
What's up, everybody? Man, you rock with Big Lance off the yard. As always, subscribe, like, notification bells. Hope everybody's checking out Teespring, the sucker-free apparel. Sucker-free, the Big Lance off the yard merch. Check it out, man. I got some hot shit over there. Sweatshirts, leggings, coffee mugs, all that shit. So, I've been having some trouble with my my little app, my Mixer app that I can mix and put this shit in there. But hopefully you got the intro to this video. So, what they're talking about is when the Madstone Bloods kind of got into this federal case. Now, I'm going to speak on this. I'm not going to speak on anyone particular. I'm not going to speak on the case. Although the case is over, people have got time, but I don't speak on other people's cases. What I'm going to speak on is my experience because I was there. When all this shit went down, I was at Greensville. Now, Greensville, Lawrenceville, and Buckingham, the 3 prisons that they mentioned in this video. And, just in case, let me see something. Y'all want to check it out. It's Gang World Blog. If you want to check out the site, Madstone Bloods is the topic. And what happened was basically from like 2010-ish, 11 to about 2017, they had this case where basically from New York all the way to Virginia, drugs coming in, drugs going out, COs fucking the inmates, which is all of this stuff is nothing new, okay? It's just the same shit, different shovel. Now, what ended up happening was the feds came in. I remember this. They locked us all down, and they started doing the investigation. Now, they had the lawyers coming in. They had the detectives coming in, the feds, the FBI, blah, blah, blah. Actually, the same FBI team that interviewed me about the DMI shit actually was doing the investigation. So I'm guessing that they are a Virginia-based federal agency or whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to get into that because I don't want no fucking problems. Please. But anyway, long story short, what ended up happening was these dudes, they just got too big. And people started dropping dimes. Now, people are going to drop a dime. And if anybody doesn't know what drop a dime is, that's snitching. And the term, actually, a lot of people don't even know where that term comes from. Back in the 60s and 70s, the cops and detectives used to tell the informants, hey, look, you know, if you have something you need to do to tell me, drop a dime. And drop a dime meant drop a dime into a payphone. A lot of you motherfuckers don't remember payphones. I do. But payphones used to be a dime. Then it went to 25 cents, and it went to like 75 cents, then they just fucking went obsolete. Anyway, people started telling that there's going to be different reasons why people tell. It could be they're scared. It could be jealousy. It could be they want to take over. There's a lot of reasons. And a lot of people get on these prison chats like, oh, he's a snitch. Oh, he's a rat. Let me explain some of the people that you watch on these movies, John Gotti, Whitey Bulger, all those motherfuckers rat. I don't care. How do you think they stay in business so long? When you're running a multi-million, sometimes billion-dollar criminal organization, you have got to play ball with the feds. And you're fucking crazy if you think they're not. And they have to be able to maneuver throughout the city. They got to pay. They got to tell certain shit. Those guys, those big organizations, that's why they fucking, when they go to prison, they end up paying the real prison gangs taxes for protection. John Gotti paid the Aryan Brotherhood. A lot of people don't know that. When John Gotti, the Teflon Don, went to prison, federal prison, he was paying the Aryan Brotherhood. And maybe I'll do I know all about that shit. it actually backfired on him. He ended up getting assaulted any goddamn way. So, but we'll do a video on that. Back to what we're talking about. I was at Greensville when all this shit went down. Now, what really set it off for these guys was, like I said, I'm not going to name any names, but I was there when this happened. There was a couple COs that were actually Bloods. They were actually fucking members of this gang. And a couple females. They would come into the pod. You would hear them. They'd come into the women would come into the pod. The actual COs would go, "Swoop," and that's like one of the things that they say. That's like one of their greetings. And it was amazing, like how these COs are running around throwing up gang signs and locking it in and everything. So that's how wide open this fucking prison is. It still is to this fucking day. I still talk to people from that prison. It is very fucking wild. Actually, some of my old homies just killed a dude about a month and a half ago. So shit's crazy over there. And that's a level 3. So everybody that says gets in the car, Virginia Soft, like these Cali guys talking about Virginia Soft, we've had already fucking 4 or 5 murders in the Virginia Department of Corrections this year. So ain't the hardest, but it ain't the softest. Trust and believe. Go out to fucking North Dakota or something. That shit's soft. But anyway, this civilian, which when I say civilian, this is a non-gang member. They have different terminologies in every prison system for these guys. Neutrons, neutrals, whatever. We just call them civilians. Went to this CO and told her, "Look, I know you're bringing this shit in for them. If you don't bring it in for me, I'm going to drop the dime on all of y'all." Now, how do you think this shit fucking unfolded? What do you think happened here? Do you think that she just immediately complied and was like, "Oh yeah, sure"? No, that's not what happened. She went and told the gang members, and the way Greensville's set up, each building has 4 pods, okay? So it has 1 through fucking 9. And say you're in 9 building, you're going to walk in the front here. There's going to be like a big ass open corridor. There's a control booth here, and there's 2 pods. It goes upstairs, and there's a control booth upstairs and 2 pods. Now, this one control booth controls these 2 pods, okay? So the CO is controlling both these pods. Well, to let people in and out, they have this little slider is what we call it. It's basically a little room you walk in. It's glass doors or whatever, and the door shuts behind you. You stand here, and you can either go right or you go left to go to whatever pod you live in. Now, we used to do what's called 229, which is unauthorized area. Basically, I could wave this CO. If the CO was cool, I could like creep over there to the other pod if I had business or I was going to go do whatever I was going to do. As long as the CO was cool, you could throw them a couple bucks or whatever you could do, and they would look out for you. Well, she tells these fucking gang members this and allows him, and real quick before I say it, everything I'm about to say was seen on camera. They've all had their trial. None of this shit. I'm not putting anybody on game. I'm not ratting or any of that bullshit, okay? So before you get crazy with the understand that, okay? So zip it. She allows, I think it was like 9 or 10 of these fucking gang members through the fucking slider. Me and my homie were standing on the top tier in this other pod. So we're standing there leaning on the bars looking down, right? We were actually drinking some wine. We had just made some wine. We were kicking the bobo on the top tier, minding our own fucking business, dogging hard as a bitch. That's what we did. We see him come in, and I elbow my homeboy, and my homeboy's name is Stick, and I say, "Yo, check this shit out." And I look down, and as they file in, I said, "It's about to fucking go down. Let me get the fuck out of this pod." As I'm trying to come down, these motherfuckers don't even hesitate. They're on this dude. Ragga, ragga, ragga. And he's an older gentleman. He takes off running up the top tier. Why would you run up to the top tier? There's no way out. There's nobody can help you. You're fucked. So he runs up to the top tier, and he's fighting. He's trying, and they're just hitting. Whack, whack. I think he got hit about 22 times or something, I think was the number. And real quick, this isn't the movies, okay? It's not as easy to kill somebody as you think, stabbing them. It isn't like when they're walking through the corridor and little fucking blood in, blood out, stabs dude one time and he dies. No, that's not. You have to hit a vital organ. You've got to stab somebody in the right place. And if somebody's fighting you, it's really hard, unless you're Bill the fucking Butcher, to goddamn hit a motherfucker in the goddamn vital area, okay? So you only got a few. You got your neck, you got obviously your head or something, but you got your liver, you know, it just certain spots. But a lot of that shit's protected, man. And a lot of us wear protection. A lot of us will wear a jacket or a shirt, and I used to wear magazines underneath my shirt. And that's sort of just to cover my liver and shit, man, or my lung or whatever, because your lung actually sits kind of low and the motherfucker hits you here and go up. But if they hit that magazine, you're okay. You can make it. So most of the time, dudes that are getting stabbed up are getting hit in the arm and upper areas, in the forearms, in the back. A lot of stabbings happen in the back because they just curl up. And, you know, people are frenzied. A stabbing is a frenzy. If you've ever seen a stabbing, and especially when you've got this many people stabbing, this is a lot of people. It's a lot of dudes, man, with knives. And they're all trying to stab. A lot of times they're stabbing each other. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many motherfuckers. There's so much going on. Anyway, so the dude runs around, blah, 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 and finally jumps off the fucking top tier onto the table. And he's, I mean, there's fucking blood everywhere, dude. I'm beating on the fucking glass. I'm like, you stupid bitch. What are you doing? And the bitch, the CO that allowed these people in, is like just stunned, like paralyzed like this, with tears just streaming down her face, because she knows she's fucked. Without a doubt, she is fucked. She is airtight. She's got one up her ass, pussy in mouth. She is so fucked. And she is just in a state of shock because she didn't know them guys were going to go do that. They said they were just going to go scare the dude. Well, they fucking accomplished that, didn't they? So he's run to the gate. Boom, boom, boom. I'm beating on the fucking door. She just hits the sliders. Boom. It just sits down like this. Ah! I scurry. I get out. Dude comes in like stumbling into the fucking area with me. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck? And he's just got this look. Like, what the fuck just happened? How did this happen? How did my life get to this point? And being a person who's had experience of being stabbed in prison, it's a very, it's an odd, eerie feeling when you get into a situation like that. It's very personal. It's intense. All your senses are very heightened because your mind and your body and everything is just really, you know, and after it's over, you start to calm down and you start to feel everything that's just happened to you. So I think that's what this guy was. His adrenaline was starting to calm down. I didn't talk to the guy. We didn't converse or anything like that. I'm not going to sit there and say that we did. I got the fuck out of there. I got the fuck out of there. So everybody gets locked down. Everybody goes down. And obviously we were down for a long time. But that is ultimately on the CO. But at the end of the day, it's also poor leadership on the organization, because it was a necessary hit. I get it. You know, when you're talking about bringing drugs into an institution, you're talking about bringing a 8 milligram piece of Suboxone. We'll just use this as an example because this is the biggest thing in Virginia, Suboxone, or at this time Spice, but Suboxone really. You can buy an 8 milligram strip from $7 to $15. I myself have charged almost $200 for one of these. So when you start to do the math, a lot of these people are getting $90 a month. So if you got an operation on the street where you have 4 people going to a doctor, every one of them is getting 90 damn Suboxones a month. Think about that. How much you're bringing in. If you're bringing in 300 goddamn Suboxones a month, boom, 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 and we're just lowballing, we'll say $100 a piece. That's a lot of fucking money that's happening. So yes, it was a necessary hit. Someone's trying. I mean, these people were basically funding everything through this one person bringing shit in. That's not to mention whatever else they had going on, which they did. These guys had it. They had it. They were the real deal. They were something like for real. They had it locked down. Way more efficient than my organization. My organization, we made money, but not even close to what they were doing. Because for one, we didn't have the numbers. For two, if we would have been making that much money, they would have gone to war with us. We couldn't go to war with them at this point in time. So the leadership, though, should not have sanctioned that hit in that pod. That shit should have happened in a stairwell or in a yard somewhere. You shouldn't have put her in that situation because, first of all, that's your whole deal right there. Why would you do that? I get it. When you're a leader, there are individuals in your organization that you sacrifice. And the guys that I used to sacrifice were the guys that were shooting dope, were the guys that were liabilities, not assets. This fucking bitch was the biggest asset you had in your goddamn organization. And you threw her under the goddamn bus to hit this retard when you could have just took maybe one or two guys, sent the kite, which the kite is a message. Look, man, next time we go to yard, you know what it is, man. That fool's in the hat. Hit him quietly. That bitch still bringing in shit. The whole organization got fucking locked down and shipped all over the goddamn. So you fucked up your whole entire operation. Now I'll give you credit that you had this whole, you had this shit locked down. But because of your ego and because of your pride, now you're sitting at Wallen's Ridge somewhere. Fuck. So, like I said, that's just my opinion. I was there. I saw the shit go down. I couldn't believe it with my own eyes because all it really did was fuck that operation up and open the door for money to be made by every other organization. As a leader, as a boss, as a leader, as an employee, as whatever, you have got to remember that your decisions can never be made through emotion. We cannot make decisions through emotion because if you do that, you might not always fuck up, but there's going to come a time when you do fuck up. So you have to be vigilant about staying on focus, staying on course, knowing what the long view, the longevity of what you're doing is. If it would have been me and that would have been my situation, I would have handled it a lot different. I can't tell another man how to run his shit. And especially an organization like that because they're huge. You know what I mean? They're fucking probably the biggest organization on the East Coast. So they're doing something right. But just that situation I didn't agree with. You know what I mean? I felt it could have been handled better. Anyway, we're running up on 20 minutes. I didn't mean to make this video this long, but I wanted to tell you my experience being there. Thank you for rocking with Big Lance Off the Yard. As always, man, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification. Hit all that shit because we're fucking putting these out. We crank these videos out every fucking day. Sometimes I miss a day or two, but every fucking day. Make sure you're checking out Teespring, man. You telling me this shit ain't hot? Look at that shit. Big Lance Off the Yard, man. Stay up, stay out, and above anything else, stay sucker free, man. I love you guys, man. Much love to the BLC. Much love to the Country Boy Cartel. Stay tuned for more music. I got that shit coming. All right. Flex on the haters. I love you guys. Peace.